If you're planning a trip to Shanghai and looking for things to see, then this video is for you. In this video, I put together a 6-day travel itinerary for Shanghai with detailed descriptions of each place, ticket prices, and where to buy entrance tickets. I've chosen the places based on my own taste, and these are more off the beaten path spots for tourists in Shanghai. Day 1. We start the day at the Magnolia Plaza shopping mall. Go to the information desk, ask for the password, and enter it into the robot. Yes, there's a robot guide here too. It will take you directly to the cafe on the 39th floor. From here, you get a stunning view of Shanghai and the Oriental Pearl Tower. Window seats get taken quickly, but they also free up pretty fast. You can just take a photo and leave, but I recommend trying the local desserts. They're really delicious. Coffee with dessert costs 130 yuan. For comparison, the observation deck will cost from 200 yuan, so this is actually quite cheap. We're walking to a beautiful park on the North Bund. Here, you get excellent views of the city's business district. Climb up the bridge, and the panorama from there is even better. Go down and find the Big Egg. This is a popular spot for photos. There's a port with ships nearby. The place is well known on Chinese social media, but there are relatively few tourists. We're approaching the Waibeidu Bridge. This is a famous historic bridge, built in 1907, and it's a symbol of old Shanghai. It's a steel bridge that has appeared in many Chinese movies and is considered one of the most romantic spots in the city. From the bridge, you get classic views of the Bund and the modern skyscrapers of Pudong. Next, we walk along the Suzhou River. This is one of the main rivers in Shanghai. Along its banks, you'll find old buildings and new skyscrapers. The contrast is striking and beautiful. There's a very beautiful promenade here, with far fewer people than near Nanjing Road, but the views are just as good. We walk all the way to the Shanghai Postal Museum. This is a unique free museum located in a historic building of the former main post office. Here, you can learn about the history of China's postal service. The building itself dates back to 1924 and is an architectural monument in the neoclassical style. The museum is famous for offering beautiful views right from the entrance. We finish our route at a historic building called SHANGHAI. Today, this building houses a hotel. There are also plenty of restaurants and terraces inside. You can choose any restaurant you like inside. Personally, I went to Ho Ho Bistro with its atmospheric terrace. It's a great place for dinner. This is a Xinjiang cuisine restaurant with a very stylish interior. I ordered pilaf and a cocktail and paid about 120 yuan. A bit more than I expected, but overall the restaurant is very stylish, trendy, and has a great vibe. I arrived at 5 o'clock without a reservation, but if you come later, you might not get a seat. In the evening, I went to a Chinese circus called Era. Chinese circus performances are on an incredible level, and the acrobatics are truly extraordinary. The show started with an exciting dance program. The performers did very dangerous and thrilling tricks on ribbons. Then there was a segment with jumping through hoops. The guys were jumping through several hoops at once and doing it on the move. These moves have to be timed down to the second. Then a guy spun on his head in front of the audience. I was amazed. The next act involved jumping. Here, the acrobats jumped really high and had to land on a chair that was hanging up high. Next, a girl performed who had trained doves to fly around the hall and return to her. A very beautiful act. Next, we watched a show where a couple performed a dangerous stunt high up on a pole. The next show was very similar to what I saw in Beijing. 7 motorcycles were riding inside a small sphere at the same time. The show ended with the couple performing on a ring. The ticket cost $45. I bought it in advance online, with a seat in Zone B. I went to a romantic park. It's more of an amusement park, but the main attraction here is the show called Eternal Love. There are similar shows in different cities across China, in Hainan, Juzhou, but the one in Shanghai was my favorite. You walk through an area designed to look like Shanghai in the 1930s. You'll want to take pictures at every step here. From this area, you enter the theater. The show tells the story of Shanghai from ancient times. Everything is accompanied by top-level acrobatics and stunning effects. Suddenly, the stage is flooded with water, and droplets land right on your face. There were dances in traditional costumes, and an umbrella even flew into the audience. I especially liked the elegant umbrella dance under the mist and light effects. The show depicted life in 19th century Shanghai. The performers flew along the walls and even appeared from the audience. There was even a European-looking woman performing aerial hoop tricks. And then people danced on the flooded stage. The scene about the Chinese Civil War was especially impressive. Flyers rained down on the audience, and dozens of actors were on stage at the same time. In the finale, the stage was shrouded in red mist, and a bus drove by, symbolizing the new China. It was truly spectacular. A VIP ticket cost $45. After the show, you can go to a party. The link where I bought the ticket will be in the description. Nearby, there's a shopping mall with a stylish chain restaurant that I highly recommend. European menu, beautiful interior, a salmon sandwich and a drink cost me 100 yuan. It's a bit pricey for China, but the atmosphere here is great and the food is European. A restaurant styled after the 1930s recently opened in Shanghai, and I really wanted to go there. You've probably seen those restaurants where you dress up in hanfu and pretend you're at the emperor's court. This is the first restaurant like that, but in the style of 1930s China. I paid for the entrance online, then the manager contacted me through the method I provided to confirm the reservation. I also booked makeup, a qipao rental, and a photo shoot so I could show you the whole process. The restaurant is located in a historic building. First, they offered me to choose a qipao. That's not easy. The clothes are really tight-fitting. I usually wear European size S, but here only a Chinese 2XL fit me. Then they do your makeup, hair, and put on the accessories. The photographer suggested picking out locations. I chose the studio and a rooftop. By the way, the photographer helps with posing. They take about 30 photos, and after the photo shoot, you go to the restaurant. It was a weekday, so there were very few people. All the tables are arranged around the stage. The VIP seats are closer to the front of the stage, but there's really no point in them. The actors appear sometimes from the front of the hall, sometimes from the back. There were also very few people. There was a musical and dance show from the 1930s. They serve the dishes between performances, and you really do feel like you're in a Shanghai restaurant from the 1930s. Appetizers, soup, seafood, everything is very luxurious. After the show, you can take pictures with the actors. You had to choose 5 photos for retouching. Here's what I ended up with. I like that in places like this, they help you create a special festive atmosphere. It cost $8, plus $50 for the photos and clothing. Personally, I liked it. The booking link will be in the description. Next, I took a walk to the Bund waterfront. The Bund is literally within walking distance. It's the most touristy spot in the city. There are always crowds of tourists. Since I travel alone, I hadn't gotten a single photo of Shanghai during all my trips. The Chinese came up with a brilliant solution: street photographers. There are lots of them, walking around with tablets, and it costs just 30 yuan per photo. You pick a photo, and they send it to you via WeChat or AirDrop. You can pay in cash or through Alipay. And here's what I got. From the Bund, I headed toward Nanjing Road since that's where the nearest subway is. Nanjing Road is a huge, beautiful pedestrian area with an incredible number of shops, restaurants, and people. I've already made a very detailed video about this street with recommendations for places to visit. The link will be in the description of this video. I don't want to repeat myself. From there, I headed toward the modern Lujiazui district. This is Shanghai's business center, with all its skyscrapers and modern buildings. It's best to come here closer to the evening. In this area, you'll find observation decks on skyscrapers, which I mentioned earlier in other videos. Links to those videos will be in the description. This is exactly where the most beautiful pedestrian bridge with views of the skyscrapers is located. The bridge is circular, and the views from here are simply stunning. Especially in the evening, the scenery here is absolutely breathtaking. There's a huge Disneyland store here. The store itself is pretty stylish and has lots of photo spots. You can shop or just stop by even just for the photos. It's really big. Nearby, there's a cool shopping mall with the most popular stores in China. Basically, you can buy everything you need here, including gifts. Be sure to check out the Hollyland store. I talked about this store in more detail in another video. It's a very aesthetic dessert shop with a space theme. It's a really beautiful and stylish place. The desserts are like works of art and cost about 50 to 80 yuan each. Wild Beauty is a chain store for Chinese cosmetics. Here you can buy almost all Chinese mass-market brands like Flower Nose. They always have good prices, nice bonuses, and lots of testers. Cosmetics in China are really good, and the packaging is just adorable. Miniso is a popular store for all sorts of little things. White Rabbit is an old candy shop in Shanghai that has been open since the 1930s. These are milk candies that taste like something between toffee and nougat. They're really delicious, and you can even get them as a gift. You can buy them by weight or in beautiful packaging. Tianzi is also a famous cream shop. The creams here are sold in unusual packaging. There are lots of testers, and the salespeople don't bother you while you shop. The creams are just amazing. They cost about 40 yuan each. I think this is simply the best shop. I spent time at Shanghai Disneyland. It's the largest Disney park in Asia. I bought my tickets in advance online for $70. It's not necessary to register your ticket in the app. But if you buy tickets with fast passes for the rides or if your ticket comes with a meal voucher, it's better to do it through the Disneyland app. Usually, when you buy tickets, they give you detailed instructions. First, I ended up on Mickey Avenue. This area is styled like a European town. There are lots of souvenir shops and cafes here. The selection in the shops is pretty much the same, but there's a wide variety. By the way, the prices are pretty steep. I stopped at the Cozy Bakery Cafe with a terrace. I got 2 pastries for 50 yuan each and a coffee for 35 yuan. Not tasty, but it looks nice. Then I headed to Adventureland. This is a tropical area with attractions for adventure lovers. Here, you can ride a boat down a steep slope, climb mountains, and try some delicious mango ice cream. I think this is the most interesting area with obstacle courses. I was impressed by the show dedicated to Pirates of the Caribbean. The actors fly through the air to music, and the fog effects create an incredible atmosphere, and right next to it is the attraction of the same name, Pirates of the Caribbean. In the themed Zootopia zone, one of the newest, I was amazed by the vibrant decorations. A very bright, stylish area with endless photo spots. Traditional attractions are located in Toy Story Land. Everything here is themed around Toy Story. Even the restrooms here are done in the same theme. It's really funny. This area exists in other Disneylands too, but here it's the least crowded. Tomorrowland offers 2 main attractions. The first is the famous Tron. It's considered one of the scariest rides. When you speed down from a height in the open air, this was where the wait was the longest, up to 90 minutes. The second attraction is a high-speed ride on a spaceship. Fantasyland is the heart of the park. Along the road here, parades featuring Disney cartoon characters take place. I spent the next day in a completely unusual way. If you love Chinese movies, you'll definitely find this interesting. This is a film studio where most Chinese movies have been filmed. Movies like The Crossing, Lust, Caution, and many others were shot here. Anyone can visit this studio and see the filming locations. In this park, I found a photo studio that takes movie-style photos, using actual film scenes as backdrops. I found out about this studio through Chinese social media. You can pay $450 for 3 sets of photos. One set costs about $115. I chose 3 different costumes, and they picked out matching accessories for me. I also chose the shooting locations myself. From the catalog they offered, I liked the scenes in the cafe, on the street, and on the train the most. The whole photo shoot took about 7 hours, and at the end, out of 120 photos, I had to pick 18 to be retouched. The rest were given to me without retouching. After the photo session ended, I took a walk around the park. It turned out to be incredibly interesting, since the park is huge and almost empty. All the main landmarks of Shanghai are recreated here. You don't have to book a photo shoot to get into the park. You can buy a ticket online or on-site and spend the whole day here if you want. The ticket costs 20 yuan. I was extremely curious, and it didn't feel like some kind of fake city at all. But getting here wasn't easy. From the city center, it takes almost 50 minutes by taxi, and by metro with the transfer to bus, it's almost an hour and a half. The next day, I started with a photo shoot, but this time in the city center. There are an incredible number of photo studios in Shanghai. So, it turns out the route is made up of photo spots, but I'm just giving you options. There's a joke that beautiful Chinese women travel not so much for the museums, but for the beautiful photos. I found a studio on Klook, paid for the service, and then a manager contacted me and we discussed all the details. I'm leaving a link and contact info for the studio in the description, because I was absolutely thrilled. The studio is just a 5-minute walk from Yu Garden. You can choose the style you like from a photo catalog. Then they'll help you put on the dress, do your makeup, and style your hair. After that, you just need to follow the photographer. I wanted to take photos in Yu Garden, or more precisely, on the roof of the garden where it wasn't crowded. The whole time, the photographer showed me how to stand, where to look, and how to hold my hands. But the Chinese photographers are amazing, and I liked literally every shot. After that, I took another walk through Yu Garden on foot. You can find a more detailed route, what to see, and what to pay attention to in Yu Garden in my previous video. Yu Garden is a huge area with shops in front of the garden itself and several ancient temples, and the garden itself is the largest Chinese garden.